The article starts with the author, Galen Gingrich, describing how his 12-year-old daughter was asked on the playground what Unitarians believe, and her difficulty in saying anything other than, well, they believe whatever they want to believe. I had the same experience recently at the investiture of a new federal magistrate judge. He is Jewish and also attends a UU fellowship in Michigan. His UU pastor gave the benediction, a prayer by a UU pastor. Several of my coworkers had no idea what Unitarian Universalism was. So at the reception afterwards, I said a lot of words about covenants, creeds, dogma, trying to explain it. And then I copped out, pulled up the 7 principles on my phone, and showed it to them. That was another cop-out because I should have pulled up the values, but I'm still working on it. The question about what other faiths believe, it's easier to answer. For many, their religion centers a God who is revealed through a written scripture, the Torah, the New Testament, the Quran, and who is represented on earth by a prophet or Messiah figure, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad. Unitarian Universalism doesn't have any of these things. Instead, our prevailing view insists on our freedom to believe whatever we want. This answer is not really that good. It's as if you were asked, "Where do you live?" And you respond, "I am free to live wherever I want." Gingrich's answer to adults for what we believe is, as Unitarians, we believe all names for God point to the same mystery. As Universalists, we believe all creation shares the same destiny. One divine spirit within and around us, and one destiny before us. This is different, he says, from the view that everyone is entitled to their own set of beliefs. According to Gingrich, the usual way of describing ourselves doesn't suggest that we are a religion, which he defines as constituted by 2 distinct but related impulses, a sense of awe and a sense of obligation. The feeling of awe emerges from our experience of the grandeur of life and the mystery of the divine. This feeling becomes a religion when a sense of obligation lays claim to us and we feel a duty to the larger life that we share. In theological terms, religion begins a transcendence, which is the part about God, or whatever, and then Unitarian, and then leads to discipleship, which is the part about obligation or practice. Gingrich acknowledges that the idea of faith as a discipline may sound like heresy to many UUs. But, he thinks, unless our faith is a mere intellectual affectation, the defining element must be a daily practice of some kind. What kind of practice? For Jews, the defining discipline is obedience. To be a faithful Jew is to obey the commands of God. For Christians, the defining discipline is love. To be a faithful Christian is to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. For Muslims, the defining discipline is submission. To be a faithful Muslim is to submit to the will of Allah. And what about UUs? What should our defining religious discipline be? Gingrich believes that our defining discipline should be gratitude. In the same way that Judaism is defined by obedience, Christianity by love, and Islam by submission, Unitarian Universalism should be defined by gratitude. The discipline of gratitude reminds us how utterly dependent we are on the people and world around us for everything that matters. The ethic of gratitude demands that we nurture the world that nurtures us in return. It is our duty to foster the kind of environment that we want to take in and therefore become. Why gratitude? Gingrich believes the role of religion is to help us find our place as human beings within this universe. The word religion does not mean to liberate or set free, but rather to bind together. Religion unites the spirit of humanity with the spirit that keeps the stars shining, the planets spinning, and the flowers blooming in springtime. Gingrich believes gratitude is the appropriate religious response to the nature of the universe. A discipline of gratitude constantly acknowledges that our present experience depends on the sources that make it possible. The discipline of gratitude is about acknowledging how much we have been given and acknowledging the scope of our dependence. It's about saying thank you to the people we love, to the work we enjoy, to the universe we inhabit, and to the spirit that binds us all together. With that in mind, we are now going to turn to our 2 gratitude exercises of the day. Lily and Michael will be passing around pieces of paper. You will find markers and colored pencils around the room, and we'll also pass out Play-Doh for those of you who want a more tactile experience. The first exercise will be a reflection on a person that is important in your life, and then we will focus on an experience of awe. After a short period of reflection, I will ask you to break up into small groups of 3 to 4 people, and we'll spend 5 minutes sharing our thoughts in that group. The people on Zoom will be split into breakout groups. The sharing part is important because emotions are contagious and we want to spread gratitude. If you're not comfortable sharing your thoughts, please join a group anyway and ask to just listen. The first exercise will lend itself to writing or journaling, though you're free to use whatever medium you wish. I encourage you to try to draw or sculpt something for the second exercise to activate a different part of your mind.